In 2019, a man named Daniel Harker moved into a quiet two-story home in Portland, Oregon. It wasn't new, but it was charming. Creaky wooden floors, ivy-covered bricks, and a small garden that smelled like lavender. He bought it from an elderly couple who had lived there for over 40 years. For Daniel, this house was supposed to be a fresh start. But within just 1 week, he discovered something that shouldn't have been there. A door behind a wall that wasn't in the blueprints. And once he opened it, nothing in his life was ever the same again. Daniel was a quiet guy, 31 years old, software engineer, newly single. He spent most of his days working from home, surrounded by cardboard boxes he never bothered to unpack. One evening during a rainstorm, the power flickered. He went to check the breaker in the basement. As his flashlight swept across the concrete wall, something strange caught his eye. A faint outline, a rectangular shadow under the paint. When he tapped it, it echoed differently, hollow. He ran upstairs, grabbed a utility knife, and started scraping the paint. Within minutes, he uncovered the frame of what looked like a sealed door. No handle, no hinges, just smooth wood embedded into the wall. The weirdest part? When he checked the original floor plans, both the printed copy and the digital record from the county's website, that part of the wall should have been solid. No door, no space behind it, nothing. But Daniel's curiosity got the better of him. He borrowed a small saw from his neighbor and carefully cut along the edge of the frame. When the last piece came loose, the panel shifted, revealing a narrow gap. Cold air drifted out, musty, stale, like an old cellar that hadn't been opened in decades. Inside was a tiny staircase, spiraling down into complete darkness. And yet, the basement was right below him. According to the plans, there was no space for another staircase. Daniel hesitated, but only for a second. He grabbed his flashlight and started down the narrow steps. The deeper he went, the colder it became. The walls weren't concrete like the rest of the house. They were rough stone, like part of an older foundation. When he reached the bottom, he found a small room, no bigger than a closet. In the center stood a wooden chair, facing the wall. And on that wall were hundreds of tally marks, carved into the stone. Some were deep, almost gouged out. Others looked faint, as if made with shaking hands. On the floor beside the chair was a small tin plate and a journal. The journal's pages were brittle, water-stained, written in the same shaky handwriting. Most of it was unreadable, except for one line repeated again and again. "Don't let him out." Daniel dropped the book. The air around him felt heavier, as if someone else was standing right behind him. He turned around. The staircase was gone. The wall behind him was now solid stone. His flashlight flickered once, twice, and then went out completely. 2 days later, the police arrived after Daniel's sister reported him missing. They searched every inch of the house. But when they reached the basement, there was no hidden door, no staircase, no room. The only thing they found was Daniel's flashlight, lying in the middle of the floor, still warm to the touch. And on the concrete wall nearby, someone had carved a single fresh tally mark.